what I call virility revitalizers. Basically, they're rare plants and herbs that contain powerful compounds that directly neutralize the chemical toxins attacking a man's body and proactively stimulate his biochemistry so that every cell in his body can produce more chemical energy, secrete youthful levels of essential hormones and growth factors, stimulate the production of potent neurotransmitters that improve brain function, reprogram a man's metabolism to starve fat tissue and feed muscles. With the right combination of these virility revitalizers in a man's diet, his body becomes immune to the toxins destroying his libido, ravaging his muscles, and taking all the firepower out of his erections. That's when I demanded to know, how can I make my husband immune to this masculine plague? Dr. Sang smiled. He pulled out a medical pad and a pen and started scribbling down his powerful breakthrough, sharing his findings on how each ingredient helped make a man immune to the toxic plague ravaging millions. It was an all-natural but very potent blend of the virility revitalizers he told me about earlier. And it all started with the first virility revitalizer, puncture vine. It is a strange-looking spiky fruit that has been used in Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine for thousands of years, and recently, modern science has started to catch up to its powerful effects. In a randomized, double-blind, and placebo-controlled study published in the journal AYU, men who supplemented regularly with an extract of puncture vine saw a 78.11% boost in overall sexual health, to go along with a 16.3% increase in testosterone production. Another study published in the scientific journal Annals of the Academy of Medicine showed that puncture vine extract showed a powerful hardening effect, boosting pro-erectile molecules by as much as 24% directly inside the tissues of the penis. This is critical because if these pro-erectile molecules are simply elevated in the blood, it does nothing to improve the quality and reliability of a man's erection. Another study published in the Journal of Human Kinetics showed that puncture vine extract boosted testosterone by up to a whopping 52%. Even more importantly, this powerful spiky fruit has been shown to significantly reduce cortisol, the main stress hormone that pummels sex drive, piles on belly fat, and eats a man's muscle tissue. Reducing stress and bolstering physical recovery is by far the most important thing any man over 40 can do for his drive and desire. Already his formula was sounding pretty special, but he reminded me that puncture vine was simply the first component. He went on to describe the second virility revitalizer, Moira puama. This is an extract of a root native to the rainforest of Brazil that's been used in folk medicine for centuries, Dr. Sang said. It caught my attention because of a study out of the Institute of Sexology in Paris, France, that showed an astounding 51% boost in erectile function, to go along with a breathtaking 62% improvement in libido and desire. A follow-up study in over 100 men showed that a jaw-dropping 66% increase in the frequency of sex, and 70% of the men reported a sizable boost in their sex drive. Not to mention that 55% noticed longer-lasting and more reliable erections, 85% noticed an increase in sensitivity and pleasure, and 90% were able to recover their erections after orgasm and have sex a second round. When I saw these numbers, I knew I needed to include Moira puama in my formulation, Dr. Sang said. Before continuing on with the third virility revitalizer, Epimedium sagittatum. This powerful herb contains a real miracle compound for aging men called icariin. In a published study in the medical journal Aging, scientists reported on the astonishing neuroprotective properties of icariin, helping to improve memory, focus, concentration, and even eliminating the depression and blah feeling that plagues so many aging men. It's also been shown to boost blood flow, leading to longer lasting and more reliable erections. It blocks the effects of a hostage hormone in a man's body that keeps his testosterone from circulating, resulting in more free testosterone, which is what really matters if a man wants a raging libido, a lean body, and the energy levels of his physical prime. The fourth virility revitalizer is hawthorn berry, which contains a powerhouse molecule called tartic acid that's been shown to bolster artery health, dilate blood vessels, and increase blood circulation and flow. It's especially effective at boosting flow to smooth muscle tissues like those in a man's member. So bursting with the big, thick, throbbing erections of your prime becomes totally inevitable. The fifth virility revitalizer is inosine. Dr. Sang shared the eye-popping benefits of this powerful, all-natural compound. Basically, it's like rocket fuel for a man's erectile tissues, he said. It boosts something scientists call adenosine signaling, which increases levels of an energy molecule inside of a man's penis. You can't get lift off without chemical energy. And inosine, make sure that your man's fuel tank is always full, he shared with a wink. The sixth virility revitalizer was a blend of something Dr. Seng called power potentiators. Let's not get too technical here, he said. These power potentiators are a blend of extracts, vitamins, and minerals that are proven to boost gut digestion, enhance nutrient uptake, and help his body turn food into fuel. So your man has a higher metabolism, more swagger, and more pep in his step. Among these power potentiators are Damania extract for improving stamina and recovery, niacin for arousal and energy, Catuaba extract to improve sleep and reduce fatigue, tocopherol to improve oxygenation of the penile tissues, cayenne extract to aid digestion and nutrient uptake, just to name a few. Finally, to round everything out, Dr. Seng shared the seventh virility revitalizer, Synergy. Dr. Seng had perfected the exact ratio of all of the compounds of his formula, including specific concentrations and dosages. The synergy of his blend meant that every ingredient in his formula enhanced the effects of the others. It was like the difference between a bunch of pistons, valves, and seals just lying around in your garage, and an expertly assembled high-performance engine made by a luxury auto manufacturer, taking the effects from good to absolutely mind-blowing. And when he finished scratching everything down on the pad, including the very specific blending instructions, he looked at me in the eye and said, "Now, Megan, don't just go out to your local pharmacy or Amazon.com to source these ingredients." See, it turns out the raw ingredients of his formula all had to be sourced from very specific locations. Each of the virility revitalizers were only found in high enough quantities in plants and roots that grew in very specific soil types, only found in a very small area of the globe. The active ingredients in these plants must be at very high concentration or the formula will be worthless. He pointed to a list of sources on the pad. "I know these are quality sources of extracts. They are the only ones I personally trust," he said. Just before I left, he gave me one last instruction. "The mixture will taste quite bitter, so you want to mix it with something sweet to kill the taste. I recommend natural yogurt mixed with fruit preserves." I thanked him for all his help and for seeing me on such short notice. He smiled back with his warm eyes and assured me it was no trouble. I felt a lightness about me that I hadn't had in a long time. It was hope rushing back in to fill the dark void in my marriage. Unfortunately, the feeling didn't last. It took me over a week for me to order all the ingredients to make Dr. Seng's formula. Most of the sources he gave me didn't speak English very well. It was a lot of back and forth over email and one very expensive long-distance phone call before I finally secured a supply. One of the packages I ordered got stuck in customs, which led to an extra 5 days of bureaucratic hoops to jump through. Finally, there was blending everything together in just the right ratio. It was like counting individual grains of salt before filling up the shaker. What a nightmare! But Dr. Seng clearly knew his stuff, and I'd already gotten a glimpse of the results in my former neighbor Jim. Heck, if the formula worked half as well for Mike, I'd have been happy as a clam. I snuck it into a bowl of yogurt mixed with a hefty scoop of strawberry jam to kill the taste. Honestly, the stuff smelled like roadkill, and Mike got a weird look on his face when he tried his dessert. He didn't want to eat the whole bowl, but I got a little pushy. "It's good for you, and you're getting to the age you need to eat healthier," I said. I also blended it into a smoothie, and I gave it to him in the morning for his breakfast. 2 days went by, and then 3, then 4. No results. My stomach practically dropped on the floor. If this doesn't work, my marriage is over, I thought. My mind turned over and over with the thought of divorce attorneys, court dates, splitting up our assets. But just when I was about to give up hope, I woke up on day 5 with something stiff poking my left butt cheek. I raised my eyebrows and he just looked at me like, "Yeah, it's real. This isn't a dream." I wasted no time, sliding my panties down and forcefully kissing him. He pulled off my nightie and started kissing my breasts and running his tongue over my erect nipples. I reached down to fondle him. He was so hard he could crack a walnut. As I slowly slid down on him, I could feel him stretching me. My juices began running like a river as I bounced up and down, faster and faster, biting down on my ring finger to keep from crying out in pleasure and waking our kids. Within just a few minutes, I couldn't take it anymore. A prickling wave of pleasure rippled through me like a bolt of lightning as I erupted with an orgasm that rocked me to my core. I bucked and spasmed, and I felt my thighs shiver as the satisfying sensations throttled my body, mind, and soul. That kicked off a sexual renaissance in our marriage that can only be described as epic. We started doing it in the shower, in the garage, in the parking lot of Mike's office. Not only did he spring forth with a huge, hard, throbbing erections on command, he actually felt at least 2 inches bigger. He probed me in spots I hadn't felt in years, sending thunderbolts of pleasure rumbling through my body. One night, he was especially frisky, pounding me in every position imaginable, until I came so many times, my body physically couldn't take it anymore. My pussy was convulsing. Every muscle in my legs felt like jello, and my stomach burned like I just did 1,000 crunches. I collapsed into his arms, beads of sweat glistening on my skin, feeling warm and safe, and so deeply satisfied that I could have stayed there forever. Mike's chest had started to show the crests of muscle he had when we first got married. The pools of body fat that accumulated on his belly had started to melt away. The foggy, disinterested look in his eyes was replaced with the steely gaze of purpose. He was a whole new man, every bit as energetic and virile as his prime, but with the calm, collected confidence and wisdom that comes with age. "So what exactly it is you've been slipping into my food anyway?" he asked, because whatever it is, it's magical. I came clean, telling Mike everything, including my visit with Dr. Seng. It was getting time for me to get more raw ingredients to whip up another batch. But Mike had a different idea. "This stuff plain works, but it tastes like shit," he said. So he hatched a plan. See, Mike works as a purchasing agent for a rubber supply company. He was familiar with the ins and outs of supply chains and industrial processes. He wanted to find a way to get the formula into a more palatable form and maybe make it available to more guys. We knew that there were lots of other couples out there who, like us, were struggling, but before we could move forward, I needed to get Dr. Seng's permission. After all, it was his formula that gave Mike the rocket erections and the insatiable sex drive of his prime. Dr. Seng's brother-in-law had fallen ill, so he decided to close down his practice and move back to Cambodia to help the family. He gave me his blessing and wished me and my husband luck on our new venture. That kicked off 6 months of trial and error to find a way to bottle up the potency of the formula that had saved my marriage. Mike and I maxed out the rest of our credit cards by hiring a chemist to help us perfect the formula. Then we had to find a manufacturing complex that could make it. It turned out the blending process required to get the perfect synergistic ratio was the toughest part. The facility had to custom design a process to get it just right. Each batch of the formula took 4 weeks to custom manufacture, but when we had our first trial run, we had no trouble finding willing guinea pigs to test it out. One of Mike's friends named Tim gave it a spin and said this: "The whole time I've been on vacation, I've been steel hard for my woman. She's still saying she can't walk today. LOL, thanks for this." Then there was Nathan, who sent this: "This stuff has my mojo cranking like I'm 18. One by one, the praise came pouring in, not just from men, but from women who loved them, raving about how the formula gave them a roaring libido, ferocious energy, and the biggest, hardest erection since their teens." One friend told another, and we sold out of our test run of 200 bottles purely by word of mouth. Here's a small sample of the glowing praise we got from those early adopters. First, Philip emailed in to say, "This stuff has totally turned back the clock. My wife and I are in our 50s, but we're doing it like newlyweds. I would pay 100 times the cost for this." And I really like what Brad had to say. "I get crazy hard erections now without any trouble, and women get super excited to see my hard-ons. I feel like the Hulk bursting out of my jeans. Glad I found this." Gunnar demanded to get his hands on more after telling us about this. "I'm recently divorced, and I've been seeing 3 different girls. One is 15 years younger. This stuff really has been a lifesaver for me. I want to reorder if you have more." As we started to get flooded with praise for this one-of-a-kind formula, Mike and I decided to give it a name. We called it Synergex 7 because of the special synergy that came about when all the ingredients were blended in just the right way and right ratios. Now, I'm sure you're itching to know how you can get your hands on your very own supply, as well as how much you need to take for maximum results. Let's start with the first question. The fact is, it's still a bit difficult for the general public to get their hands on Synergex 7. Each ingredient needs to be carefully extracted, purified, and blended together under exact specifications to ensure that the synergy of the ingredients is maintained, which is the reason I keep selling out of the formula. It works so well and so quickly that everyone who tries it keeps coming back for more. As word continues to spread spread, it's getting harder and harder to keep it in stock. Even with the exclusive deal we've secured with the manufacturer, it still takes 4 weeks to custom create each batch of Synergex 7, which is why most guys buy multiple bottles so they'll always have some on hand. And that makes getting this scientifically proven formula into the hands of every man who needs it a massive challenge. That being said, I also don't want any guy who's struggling with soggy noodle erections, lagging energy and drive, and constant brain fog, or watching their once proud, powerful physique turn into a mass of jello and feel hopeless to do anything about it. So in the next few minutes, I'll share how you can secure your own supply at a very attractive discount. But just before I tell you about that, let's go back to the other question of how much Synergex 7 you need to take. We recommend at least 2 capsules of Synergex 7 per day for 30 days. Now, one of the great things about Synergex 7 is that the powerful, synergistic blend of all natural ingredients goes to work right away. In fact, well over 90% of men who try it notice an effect with their very first dose. But remember, your lagging libido, low energy, and soft, weak erections are just part of a much larger problem. The real problem is the toxic endocrine disruptors poisoning your body and shriveling your natural masculine drive from the cellular level on up, which is why the men who get the best results, like the men you've heard from today, they take Synergex 7 every day. To them, this 5-second daily ritual is as important as brushing their teeth, because the antitoxin virility revitalizers make you immune to the masculine plague of endocrine disrupting compounds. And you want to keep those results going, right? Given that out of stocks are always a threat, you'll probably want to stock up on at least 6 bottles of Synergex 7 to make sure you're covered. After all, I'd hate for you to start blasting off with fake, throbbing erections at the drop of a hat. Unleash the unbridled, raw masculinity of your prime and feel a calm, clear, laser-honed focus to go out and get more done, only to see the out-of-stock message on our website when you come back for more. In fact, men from all across the country who once thought they'd have to just accept they were getting older, who thought they'd never be able to enjoy the throbbing power and insatiable sex drive of their younger years, who thought they'd never be able to go round after hot, sweaty round with that special lady in their lives, they're calling Synergex 7 a true gift from God. Check out what just a few of them had to say. Please let me know when my new package ships. Can't wait to use it again. Ran through my first order because the GF couldn't get enough of me. By the way, do you have anything to help me stay awake late? She's riding me ragged over here. Clay, Seattle, Washington. I'm way more confident around beautiful women now. Used to have a nasty little voice in my head whispering at me that I could never satisfy them in bed. After I found S7, it's a complete 180. Since then, I bagged 2 perfect 10s, and they both told me I'm the best they've ever had. Kirk T., Orange County. At first, I was skeptical. I've seen a lot in my time, but after trying it, I can't recommend it highly enough. Told my golf buddies about it too. Dale L., Lansing, Michigan. I would truly love to get Synergex 7 into the hands of every man who needs it, but the fact is, it's simply not possible. Remember, the most important ingredient is synergy, and that synergy takes time. Time to purify, carefully measure, and expertly blend all of the nutrients together. It's the only way we can ensure the purity and potency of our product. Each step has a tiny margin of error, and all of this means Synergex 7 cannot be churned out in massive quantities like many other products. So you won't find this product on Amazon or on shelves of CVS or Walmart anytime soon. Today, Synergex 7 is only available on this website and only while supplies last. If you're still with me right here today and there are bottles in stock, it's crucial you don't put this decision off. Just imagine having limitless sexual power, rocking your woman with a revolving door to full-body orgasms, so intense they change her mind, body, and soul. Having the energy to run circles around younger men while maintaining the wisdom of your years. Shedding the dad bod and effortlessly revealing a strong, lean, powerful torso other men respect and women lust for. Being able to ravish your woman whenever you want with full thick, throbbing erections on command. All it takes is just 5 seconds a day, and the results are automatic. Now, the original beta testers of Synergex 7 had to pay $150 for a 1-month supply, and honestly, I think it's a steal, considering I spent over $800 to secure the formula and get a supply of the raw ingredients. Not to mention the tedious process of blending everything together in the perfect ratio. Or when you consider that $200 per month or more, a regimen of Big Pharma's designer chemicals could set you back and still saddle you with dizzying headaches, nausea, diarrhea, even sudden death. Plus, not one of the mainstream medical options is specifically designed to make you immune to the masculine plague tearing you apart on a cellular level, which is the true root cause of your miserable problems. So while I could charge $150 per month or more without losing sleep or hurting my bottom line, Synergex 7 is more of a mission for me than a business opportunity. Of course, I need to turn a profit to support the operations costs and get a return for my time and effort. Otherwise, I simply couldn't afford to make the solution available. But the driving purpose that burns inside of me is to put this solution into the hands of as many deserving men as I possibly can. So for a limited time and on this page only, I'm offering a group of 500 men who are willing to take action and say yes today the opportunity to secure their own supply of Synergex 7. Not for $150 per bottle, not for $125 per bottle, not even for $100 per bottle like you might be thinking, but taking action right now on this very page, you can order Synergex 7 for only $69 per bottle. And actually, that's just the start, because if you experience even half of what the science behind Synergex 7 says is possible, wouldn't you want to maintain those improvements as long as you can? And wouldn't you want to ensure the nagging issues never come back? That's why today you can put those worries to rest by securing a deal on multiple bottle packages of Synergex 7. When you hit the button below and start your order today, you can secure a 6-month supply of Synergex 7 for only $49 per bottle. It's a no-brainer. Plus, by making the wise decision to stock up or give Synergex 7 as a gift to a loved one, I'll also go ahead and waive the shipping fee for $12.99 for all orders inside the continental United States. All that's left to do is click the button below and get started with Synergex 7. Now, once you click the button, you'll be brought to my ultra-secure 256-bit encrypted order form. It's the same technology companies like Apple and Amazon use, so you know your information will be kept safe. You can take me up on my 6-bottle deal today or choose whatever package works for you, and my team will process your order and zip it out to you right away. And to make this an even bigger no-brainer decision for you, I'm going to cover your entire order with my unprecedented 60-day money-back guarantee. Here's how it works. Choose the 6-bottle package or whichever package is right for you today. It should take between 3 to 5 business days for your package to arrive. And I'm sure when it does, the first thing you're going to want to do is tear into it. So go ahead, take your first serving of Synergex 7 as directed. Start to feel that dominant masculine energy flowing in your veins. Feel yourself crackle with the pleasure and sensitivity of your prime. Treat your lady to a full thumping performance that leaves her breathless and sweaty. If you're unsatisfied for any reason during the 60 days, even if you don't like the color of the bottle, send my cheerful customer service team an email at support@synergex7.com. We'll make sure you get every penny back, even if the bottle is completely empty. Either you get the sex life you've been seeking, or you don't pay. Since there's literally zero risk for you, there's no reason not to take advantage, is there? Click the button below now, and let's get started with your order of Synergex 7 now. But remember, these special multi-bottle discounts and free shipping are limited. Only 500 packages are available, and they're first come, first served. After that, you'll have to wait at least 4 weeks for the next batch to become available. So go ahead and click the 6-bottle package or any other package you want below this video right now while you still can. And get ready to walk tall through the world as the man you used to be, the man you still are down deep inside. And as an added bonus for ordering in the next 9 minutes, I'm going to include a free guide called Sexual Power Tools, absolutely free with your order. In this guide, I'm going to show you exactly how to please a woman the way no other man possibly could. You'll discover bedroom games that will tantalize her imagination. You'll discover oral incentivizers that will make her delight in giving you blowjobs. You'll find out the secrets of roleplay, dominance play, S&M, toys, props, sexy videos, complete scripts that make her sopping wet on your command. Foreplay secrets that will have her writhing and begging for a taste of your hot, hard manhood, and so much more. Men have paid $99 and more for secrets like this. But it's my gift to you for making a smart decision and pulling the trigger right here today. So go ahead and select your package right now below this page while there are still bottles in stock. All you have to do is click the button below and get started with Synergex 7 now. Look, the cold, hard reality is no one is coming to save you. It's up to you to take care of yourself, and remember, you are only getting older. The longer you wait, the worse it will get. For one simple reason, the chemical warfare won't just stop on its own. Massive multinational corporations are laughing all the way to the bank, and Uncle Sam has shown zero interest in addressing it. And have you noticed how so many men seem weak, effeminate, and soft nowadays? Or they question their gender and identify as women? Obviously, this madness makes absolutely zero sense. I think it's directly due to this chemical crisis that men didn't have to deal with 30 years ago. These could be the best years of your life, or they could be the start of a long, slow, painful decline that robs your joy and energy one day at a time, all because of the manhood mutating toxins destroying your body. So I have to ask, what kind of man will you choose to be? Up until now, you had an excuse. You didn't know you were being assaulted by man-destroying toxins. You didn't know that your drooping desire, shriveling erections, and lagging libido were caused by a kind of chemical castration that was outside your control. But today, you don't have that luxury anymore. Today and every day for the rest of your life, you have a choice to be strong, confident, motivated, and the most sexually powerful man a woman could ever want, or the faded shadow of the man that you could be, the man that you should be. Just in a few short days from today, you could reemerge as a whole new creature. Pack a power tool in your pants that can treat your lady to the pulsing pleasure she truly craves. Supercharge your brain and body, surge with motivation, focus, and raw, unbridled energy. Move through the world with the swagger of a true leader, the kind of man women adore and other men envy. Or you could just accept your fate, choose to be just another whiny victim, and put your sex life at permanent risk. I can't make the decision for you, but I think if you're even half the man I believe you are, this is a true no-brainer decision. So go ahead and get started right now by choosing your package below. I'd like to thank you for giving me some of your time today, and I look forward to hearing about your success soon. God bless.